Welcome to another episode of the Cheap Champ. Yes, 100% mobile. I'm outside on the road. Not really. I'm in the city. I'm in the town. But I was supposed to have some guests, but this is what happened. I didn't save my episodes, so I lost them. So to my guests, I really apologize for not having those episodes up. I'm going to get it straight. I didn't pay attention to my software. I didn't follow my process, and that's how I got messed up. So that's what I want to talk about today, processes. This episode is called Processes. And the reason I want to talk about processes is because processes are important. Some people hate process. They don't like to have a process, like do whatever they want to do. But the world wouldn't even function without a process. Everything has a system or a process. Think about your body. You got the circulatory system, which is your heart. You got the nervous system, which is your nerves. You got your all kind of systems. I don't know all of them anymore. You got the skeletal system. I think that's one. I don't know, but you got a couple different systems. And a lot of times, people in their businesses, like in their personal life, don't have systems. If you don't have a system, have a process, you're not gonna make money, or you're gonna lose a lot of money. Trust me, I know. That's how I lost those episodes because I didn't follow my process. I'm supposed to save the episodes right after I get done. I didn't. I did more episodes than usual, and I didn't post like I was supposed to. So the episodes delete after 15 days. So I held on to these after 15 days, and they're gone. All that work I did, traveled to New York, didn't follow my process, and I lost. But in the past, processes cost me money. Not having the processes cost me money. Just like with my credit business. Of course, I run a business too. That's what this podcast is all about, having business. And with my business, my financial literacy company, I didn't have a process as far as putting my workshops together. I would each week I would try to put the workshop together, get the flyer together. It was just too much work. So I said I need a process for this. So now I get it done on Sundays. Sundays I knock it out. I don't have time to do all this. I got other stuff to do. Football's not on. But I live in California. I want to go out in the sun, take my shirt off, look good, because I've been in the gym working hard, real hard. That car wreck. I hate them cars with loud pipes. Don't you hate cars with them pipes like that? They be making all that noise. But anyway, process. Back to the process. I had my process and I didn't follow it. Damn it, I lost it. Paying attention to the car. But you get what I'm saying. The process is important. And I didn't follow mine, lost my episodes, and here I go. Oh, webinars. Damn it. There we go. Webinars. I lost my process with my webinars, and it was taking me too long. And I actually stopped doing them, which was costing me money. So now I got it down to a science. I do my webinars at the end once a month. I make all my flyers for 4 weeks. I make all my flyers for the month. So it's easy. I just change the dates. Flyers are the same. Speaking of which, go to www.stressmoneyless.com. I know you hear it. If you heard if you heard this podcast a couple times, you've already heard that website. Please go to www.stressmoneyless.com. Check out a webinar. If your credit's in shape, tell a friend. Or if you need help with some budgeting, savings, building business credit, I can help you with all of that. Back to what we're talking about, but the process. So with my webinars, I got it down to a science. So it's easy. I just copy the templates and do it over so much so I have it written down now so I can get somebody else to do it. Because sometimes you do all this stuff, somebody else can't do it. Then your business can't run. If you don't have a process at all, that's one thing. What I'm learning is if you don't have a process on paper, you're in trouble. You need a process on paper. Because if you don't have a process on paper, then how's anybody else going to do it? They can't. It's not going to happen. Forget it. You're gonna be on the phone. Well, this is what you gotta do, man. You gotta pick it up and put the paper over there. That's not what you gotta do. Let me send me a picture. Put me on video. If you have the process on paper, you don't need to send a picture. You don't need to send a video unless they can't figure it out. And that's probably because your process is not efficient. You ever go to a job? What they give you? A handbook. You go to human resources. They take you around. You meet everybody, right? You get signed up for your health care. You get signed up. You take your sexual harassment training. You get signed up for anything they got you signed up for. That happens the first 3 days. They have a process. It's called the onboarding process. You need one, and you need them in your personal life too, not even just in business, just in your personal life. Like that's how I'm able to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and work out, look good. I've been in the gym working hard, but 5 o'clock in the morning, that's part of the process, man. And the process frees up time. Some people think the process takes time. Actually, the process frees up time because I can get so many things done at one time with this efficiency. It works. Think about McDonald's. McDonald's is known for the process of flipping burgers. They had the fries, burgers, they had all that stuff down to a process. So that's how they would get that stuff done so fast and get through drive through. If you ever see a fast food restaurant, that's all process. How do you get that much food out that fast? Not only are they ordered in person, They're getting through the drive-through. Now, don't get me wrong, the drive-through be wrong sometimes. I don't like that. You got to come back around. Hey, man, I ordered the chocolate shake. You gave me vanilla. What is this? They want to give you attitude, stuff like that. I don't like it. I don't do drive-through no more. I go inside because something's wrong. I'm coming to see you. The thing is, if they didn't have a process, none of this would exist. You got to have one. It's so important to have one. The process as far as comedy. I do stand up comedy at night. I got to have a process with that too. Process with that is just going up repeatedly over and over and over, telling the same jokes along with new jokes, seeing how if I can add to it. Because a joke that's 3-4 minutes turn into 4, 5, 6, 10 minutes. But I got to develop my process. I go out, work on the jokes, build it, listen to it, try to do it 4, 5, 6 times. I do it at least. I try to do a joke at least 8, 9, 10 times before I take it to a show or to a club, just to make sure it's tight. I'm not going to just do something twice and take it up there. Sometimes I do new stuff that night, but I usually do have a process of building new material because I have to do it so often. I got to make sure that the material is tight and it's got to be funny. Because if you ain't funny, you ain't gonna make no money. Speaking of which, I keep saying I need to put some stand-up comedy up on here. I need to put some stand-up comedy so people can see me tell jokes. Man, I do a lot of stuff. If I didn't have a process, I wouldn't get anything done between my YouTube page, cheapnotbroke.com. If you haven't subscribed to cheapnotbroke.com, go to cheapnotbroke, check it out, go get some merch, or subscribe to the YouTube channel, or follow on Instagram. I have to do all my videos for Cheap Not Broke, which means I have to go out, constantly find deals, constantly find things that people can save money on. And I have to do this on a week-to-week basis. So if I didn't have a way to make sure I'm still working on my business, telling jokes, and developing things for my brand, it wouldn't be able to work. The damn helicopter. Police always looking for somebody. Glad they're not looking for me. Sometimes they have to be flying laps around here. I'm like, y'all just burning up gas. Y'all need to give me some of that gas. How much y'all paying for gas if y'all can fly around like that? But the process for me to do all this stuff, it definitely takes some scheduling. I'm not gonna say I put all that stuff in the calendar. I do have reminders now. I do have reminders, but a lot of the stuff I do, I get done on the same days. I try to do stuff on the same day at the same time to make sure I'm getting it done. Because if not, I'm gonna forget, and it's just not gonna work out. I remember booking myself for shows. I booked myself on the show at like 8 o'clock, and I try to get another show in at 9:30, but the show might run long, or I don't realize how far it's gonna take me to get to the next show. Double booking myself doesn't work. So I had to figure out, all right, let me put this stuff in my calendar. And I write stuff on my calendar in my house so I always see it when I leave out, so I'm not gonna forget. So the really important stuff I always see, but that's just a part of the process. You know, but the process of everything, even the process of growth, because I know over the years I've had to grow, especially as a business owner, trying to figure stuff out, trying to learn how to just get clients and customers. I know when I started trying to get to the schools, I didn't have a process. I was just sending emails and whatnot, just emailing people randomly and not really following up like I should. So as time went on, I figured out how to develop a process. I put together some templates. I got templates. I The templates, I have those saved so I can save the same email, step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that process just makes things super easy. Matter of fact, process saves you a lot of time because when you have a process, you already know what to do, what to expect. If it breaks, you know why. You can figure it out. You don't have to start from ground zero or scratch because the process is broken. It's not like I don't know what happens. Like, okay, I got the step 5, it's 10 steps, something failed at step 7, you can fix it and keep it moving. You don't have to go figure out step 1 through 7 to figure out what's broken. You can go through the process as usual, and where it faults, fails, doesn't work, that's where you know you need to get it done. So that's always that's always something great to have a process too. It helps you figure stuff out when things break. Because I know things break all the time, man. Things stop working, break, except when it's like, electronics. Process of that is take your ass back to work, buy some new stuff because I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know how to fix electronics. You on your own. But some people do. But the thing is, you got to get out there and get the process done. Do it, do it, do it. Figure out the process. And then you got to stick to it. Consistency is key because you don't have consistency with the process, you can't do it. And that's another thing with process is the consistency. You got to do it over and over and over. I think it says it takes 30 days to do something repeatedly to make it a habit. 30 days is a lot. A lot of people can't do anything for 30 days. But you got to. You go to work for 30 days, you live for 30 days, you eat 30 days, you brush your teeth 30 days. So there's a lot of stuff we do within 30 days that are a habit. You didn't work out, you didn't come out, born into the world, brushing your teeth, taking a bath, doing all these different things. You had to learn to do them over time. And it all took processes and all took consistency. It is the way it is, man. I know with the business, and you got to be consistent in the business. you're not consistent in the business, it's gonna kick your ass. Anything you do in life, you gotta have a process and consistency. And that's starting to make sense to me. It's like, you know what? If I want to be good at this, I gotta figure out a process to do it. Whether that be going to the gym 3 times a week, gotta go in there, gotta make sure I'm doing these certain exercises, knock it out. I'm not gonna get any results. And once I get that process down, I gotta figure out the consistency within that process, or you're gonna have some problems. So that's one of the things, big things about that process. Process is important. And sometimes you get lazy, you forget you don't want to do things a certain way, but the process keeps you grounded because we all have times where we don't want to do stuff. And, I do. I know I get lazy at times, but the process, the consistency keeps me going. It's like, I feel funny when I don't do it. It's like, well, I haven't done what I'm supposed to be doing. I haven't went to the gym, haven't told any jokes lately. Even the podcast. This is this is my third month doing the podcast, so this should have been episode 17, but unfortunately, it's episode 15 because I lost two, unfortunately. So process got screwed up. I lost, but I'm gonna get back on it, and I'm gonna make sure I stick to it going forward. It won't happen again. That's not gonna happen no more. I'm on it. I'm on top of everything. The cheap champ is on it because process costs me money. The purpose of this podcast is to talk about the cost of doing business, life, and money, and context in between the two. And without a process, it's gonna cost me so much money. So that's it. There you have it. There it is. So if you don't have a process, you got to figure out one. Don't make it difficult for yourself. Like start step one, step two, and have some fun with the process too. Do something you like doing because if you hate it, it's gonna be hard to. And them ragged ass cars go again. If you hate the process, it's gonna be hard to do it. And I think that's what really. Oh man, that's what goes wrong when people hate the process or they don't get the results they want in the process. But that's where the consistency comes in because if you're consistent with the process, don't matter. You can do it anyway. So you got to brush your teeth because your teeth are not going to rot and fall out in 2 months. Your breath gonna stink, and you're probably not gonna be friends no more. But if you forget that process and stop doing it, it's gonna have you're gonna have you're gonna have less than successful results, things that you don't want to get. You're gonna get cavities, teeth gonna fall out. It's not gonna happen immediately, but it will happen over time. Just like with the process, things don't fall apart immediately, but over time they do. So that's one of the things that I kind of trying to stay consistent with, especially with this podcast, man. Like the process of setting up, finding guests, doing all these things, and it's only gonna grow because eventually I'm gonna have a couple cameras, I have a crew out here, and all that good stuff. In time, work with me, but got to keep the process small, keep it tight. So as I bring in more people, they can understand my process, and it'll be easier for them to get things done and make things happen and help things grow. Because one thing about your process, if you can't allow people to improve upon your process or help grow your process, you're going to be stuck. Then you'll be one of the people working by yourself. And you damn sure can't go too far by yourself. It's impossible. No society has been built by one man or one woman. And if it has, where? So you got to do it. You got to stay on top of it. But it's just me today. So I just wanted to come in and talk about process. I'm going to get back to guests next week. But before we get out of that, what's your process? I mean, I'm just curious. If you got a process, write me, drop a line. Jump on YouTube. Feel free to comment. I'm always looking for other entrepreneurs and other people what their thoughts and what the thoughts are about what we're talking about. Because, like I said, life is about money. People hate to say that, but everything I do is around money. Cheap not broke is about saving money. Stress money less is about money not stressing you out. And even in my comedy, I talk about my money issues and how much money I don't have. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. But I would like to kind of get people's opinions and know your thoughts. So if you ever have something you want to say about the podcast, if you're listening, or even if we're ahead a couple weeks, feel free to come back. I'll get the comment. I'll definitely write back to you and hear what you got to say. Because we all have different processes, and I learn a lot from other people's process. So it's not always about you. It's about also taking your process and adapting with somebody else. Because I know relationships, people live differently. They have different ways of doing things, but you have to put your process together with whoever your spouse or whoever you're with, guy, girl, whoever. You have to put your two processes together and develop a process to be together. And she might like to take 2 hour showers, you like to take 20-minute showers, but you both got to be there at 7 o'clock. So you have to figure out a process. Probably don't call it a process in your relationship, but you got to figure out a way to get things along and make things work and be efficient because you can't be late everywhere because she might start taking a shower at 2 o'clock And you might take your shower at 6:30. You gotta be there at 7 since it only takes you 20 minutes. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but you gotta figure it out. But I appreciate everybody tuning in to the Cheap Champ. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do one episode a month by myself. If you like these, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're on Anchor, if you're on iTunes, please hit the like button, share with another friend. And I appreciate you tuning in. And I would always appreciate you going back and listen to some other episodes. And you can always write me. And yeah, thank you, our sponsors, www.cheapnotbroke.com and www.stressmoneyless. Until next week, take care.